Okay, this is the fourth and final help video for BSV11159. Today we'll be looking at compiling and filtering out our data. So if we very quickly have a look at our BIM model. So this is just my version here. It's only a little demonstration. If I hide the existing building, well actually what I'll do is I will hide the new part, hide the wall heads, and we can see I've only got one wall that I'm referring to as removals, and that's the one in red. If I hide all of the existing building apart from my removals just now, and I select my removals, we can see I've given this a name. I've got 7, which is the location, which is designated as removal, mezzanine ground floor, wall, it's made out of brick, and it's removal brick 001. And I've modified our sheet accordingly. Brickwork, and then brickwork to be removed. So I go back in here, and we'll show all the new. In my previous videos, I've talked over how these panels were made and brought together with the various parts. I'll put my wall head back on, and my internal partitions, and even my mezzanine floor, which is not fully finished. But for just now, I'm going to select everything, all the new and all the removals. I shall select that. I shall go Filter, Generate Report. I shall create from new. I will definitely select current selection only. We'll go meters, and we'll have precision being maximum. And we'll start bringing out some of the entities. IFC classification, I shall have entity name, entity volume, we'll have quantity. I shall also have, I don't know, let's have the U value, we'll have the U value, and perhaps I can have my length, breadth, and my height as well. I could also add in other things as I see fit, but for just now, that will do me. I shall download this data. I'll give it a quick name. Give me 2 seconds. I shall open my data. This is my data here. If I just unashamedly select all of that, press copy, then I've already downloaded the current version of our sheet from online. It's on link to is on Moodle. I've downloaded it, so it's now on my hard disk. I'm assuming that everyone's completed it and it's fully finished. I'll go to a new tab, and I'll then paste the data that I've just selected. Now, I'll give myself some room, press Insert, and then what I want to do to make this a bit more legible for me, I shall go here, and I will come down 1 and press Text Split, or select Text Split, and I will take the name, I'll put comma, in brackets, underscore, close bracket, there we are. Copy that down one as well. And now I'll put my cursor, I'll do it here. I'm going to go text split again, and this will become apparent later on. I will show you. Text split. But this time, I'm going to be taking column O, comma, quotes, and it's a hash sign this time, quotes, close bracket. It has no effect on this particular one, but there are occasions where that will have an effect, especially on my model that I've created. That may not be the case for yourself. And now what I want to do is to go here. I now want to translate my volume. There's my volume here. It's currently a text. I want to remove the string of text at the end. So I'll do that by typing equals our value, and then open another bracket. I'll go left, and then I shall take the cell that I want to modify the text from, comma len for length, and again it's the same cell, close brackets minus 8, close brackets, close brackets, close brackets, press enter. I've obviously got a mistake here somewhere. Let me just problem solve. There we are. So my problem was I had too many brackets after left. So just to show you that again, it's value, open brackets, left, open brackets, one more, then the same cell, and then it is comma len for length, open brackets, the same cell, close brackets minus 8, then 3 consecutive close brackets. Now we have the value, it's turned into a value, and it's stripped off the remaining text at the end. And now what I want to do is I'll go perhaps here, and I'll type the word unique, and then I'll give, I'll just select the R column, so it's R semicolon or R colon R, close brackets. And what we'll do is I will copy this. So I'll do that again for you. I'll select these cells here. I'll press Control C, and then I'll select the cells underneath, then drag down all the way down to the very bottom. Just take a few seconds. Oops. There we are. And when I'm here, be handy to remember 1485 or 1500 will be fine. Press Control V, and it's done all of that all the way down for me. The reason why I wanted to do split text with the hash sign is if we look down on my particular one, I'll have to remember where it was now. There we are. I had found a few errors like this when I had TC16$1, and that was a mistake that I made in my model, but there's no harm in just leaving that there and then correcting it by what I had done. So that's helpful. It's a helpful way to fix any problems that I may have. Go back up now. I now have a list, a unique value of everything that's in my model. So you can see I've got tannalized timber, I've got insulation of wood fibre 60mm, I've got a different form of insulation there, I've got a timber C16, I've got OSB 10mm thick, I've got a plasterboard 15mm thick, I've got a plywood 25mm thick plywood, I've got a fireboard, and I've also got steel 10mm thick steel, and I've also got removals of brick. I'll make that column just a little bit bigger, and we'll use a different command now, and we'll go sum if, and we will take this whole row here, top to bottom. Well, we remember the number. It was like 1,500. We'll go comma, then this cell here, and then we'll go comma, and then the value that we want to return would be this value here. Again, we'll go 1,500 because we know that takes us beyond the number of which our array is. Press OK to that. That's giving me a total volume for my tannalized timber. Now at this point I want to copy this cell down all the way down. However, if I do that I will get some mistakes or errors. To make sure I don't get any errors, I'll double click, go back in, and I will use a $sign to hold the the O13 and then the O1500, and then I'll also use the T13, so in between the T and the 13, $sign, and the T1500 in between $sign. Now I can copy this formula all the way down. And for example, we can now see that my removal of the brickwork wall would actually be just over 4 cubic meters of material. Now, the last thing that I want to do, well, not for this example anyway, you'll have to do a little bit more perhaps, but the last thing I'm going to do in this demonstration will be simply to look up the values for these products. I'm going to go equals v lookup, which will look up the array. So I'll use this array here. And then table array. So we'll go over here. This is our prices. And we'll go from the top. And we'll make sure we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. I want to make sure I've got the rate in there. Bring that down. For just now, I'll bring it down to, come on, let's be a bit more neat. Bring it down to about here just now. That'll be fine. And then I'll go comma, and it will be the index column, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, comma. I'm now going to use the word false to say the exact match. It must be an exact match. It cannot be an approximate match. Make sure you do that, or otherwise you will get all sorts of problems. Well, talking about all sorts of problems, we can see here that I have got all sorts of problems. I wonder why that is. Well, let's have a look at that just now. If I just copy that for just now over here, and I'll place it as text. My first one is tantalize. I'll delete all of the ones that are okay, and I'll just put in the ones that we need to fix. So these are all the ones that I'm missing. I'll explain in just a second. Oops, yep. Copy. I shall go here and oops, do that one more time. Copy, paste. Right. TTN, that's tantalized timber. We'll copy that. We'll paste as text. That's insulation wood fiber 60 mil, I think I'm not mistaken. Insulation wood fiber, copy that. 60 millimeters. OSB 10 mil, well we know that. OSB 10 mil. And plywood. Oops. And that's 25 mil thick. Steel. We'll just say steel. And then this is brick removal. Okay. For just now, we'll make all of these. And just to make this a bit more neat. Now remember, I'm not updating this on your one, I'm only updating this on my one that I've downloaded. So you'll have to do a similar thing, one would imagine, unless you've got all your prices already in. Tantalized timber, I'm going to say it's about £350 per cubic meter. Insulation wood fibre, I'm going to say £50, no, say £120 per cubic meter. OSB per cubic meter, it's £520 roughly at the moment. And then plywood's a bit more expensive, £1,215 per cubic meter. Steel, £4,301 per cubic meter. And brickwork removal. This is assuming that we're having to take the wall down, remove the material out of the building and into a skip and paying for the skip as well. I'm going to call that £2,000 per cubic meter. That's what I'm going to do. Go back here and we can now see, well, that value is irrelevant anyway. We can now see that all my errors are now finished. So I've got all my unique materials within my build up. I've got all my volumes for that, and I've now got my rate for that. So I could quite just simply go equals my volume times my rate per cubic meter. And then sum. I'm going to sum everything apart from the brickwork removal. So we can see, let's format this cell. So just the materials alone to do what I want to do is about £3,700. For the removal, of that brickwork. I said it was £2,000 per cubic metre. Perhaps it'd be a little bit less than that if we were to get a proper price that was priced up. Let's just say we change that now to, I don't know, call it £1,000 per cubic metre. This would then automatically update. So we can see, oops, for, and then, so see very quickly, we're able to pull the data out of the BIM model. We're able to tie it up with by using our naming format and then also our pricing data that we have, and we pull together a very quick bill of quantities, the rates for the quantities or for the materials, and then a total cost for the materials for that project and the cost for the removal of that wall. This is only a quick demonstration. You can use the same technique for finding out the other things that you need for your project. And that would include like the URLs for your hazardous materials. For example, the render on top of your cork insulation, for example. Right, thank you very much.